Hello and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, today was a very exciting day, actually, just because the pros out there like Powell and Lagarde was talking about, well, about what exactly? I don't know, actually. They defined they defined their goal to bring inflation back to 2%. That was so entertaining. At the same time, telling us, well, we don't use any signs. We don't have any. Well, we use actually the Phillips curve, but we don't use any signs. So, God, these guys are really leading the central banks. So everything is fine. We don't need to worry about anything. About anything. Uh, that's a very diplomatic way to say we are fucked. Well, let us go and check what's happening here. To make it clear, I guess I'm doing it very worse because I'm logging, trying to trade a swing because I would like to see such kind of dead cat bounce before we go more down. I would like to take some profit and try to get a better entry because as you see DXY is really going up as forecasted, retesting 105. It will take a little bit, but afterwards, in my opinion, 108 is the next target, and that will bring down the markets like SPY and Bitcoin. But also here, that's a process. So my trade right now consists on that DXY will go down a little bit. I think maybe to 104.2 or something retrace before it goes up even more, and that will give SPY and Bitcoin enough space just to go up a little bit before we can go down again. So, however, that's at the moment. Let us talk about what's happening. Well, first of all, I have some information advantage because I did the um, German analysis today. And so I have seen some information that wasn't really looking that bullish, but we need to see. However, we reached a very nice weights ratio 30 days moving average. As you see, it seems like maybe that was the local top. We need to see if tomorrow it's just indicating it's going up even more. We will take a look to the weight ratio, all the time frame, if we can detect such kind of, if that's going more up or maybe even um, lower. Because that's indicating a big preparation happening. If we take a look, I mean, they are preparing this since a while, and yeah, it doesn't look very nice. So for me, short-term bullish, just to see if I can trade the dead cat bounce. If not, I will go directly back to short. Well, I'm shorting at the same moment, but yeah. So let us go forward and take a look here. And I have mentioned yesterday how weights ratio 1 hour time frame could be also a very interesting indicator for short-term trades. The problem here is usually that we can't we I mean crypto quant is not we can use for example the block time frame, but that's not that accurate, indicating us, as you see here, any any yeah positive or bullish price actions. Uh, that was crap now because it has to load a lot, and that doesn't make any sense because I mean that's indicating here it's going to lift up. It lifted up, but that wasn't really big. So if we take the 1 hour time frame, it's delayed. So unfortunately, it doesn't help. But as mentioned yesterday, those little dumps here are indicating whales. Let the price go up before they start to distribute again. Like we can see here, that's exactly what's doing actually. And yeah, however, let us take a look. At the moment, we are trading on 0.78, indicating it will let the price go up, so my swing trade. And afterwards, it should go up to distribute again. So if we check that here, so no, here. Okay, perfect. If we check the other charts, we can see that the stablecoin reserves on exchanges is lifting up a little bit, so some money is coming back to the exchanges. Nothing big, to be honest. The stablecoin supply is declining even more, also not a big deal, but however, it's not bullish at all. And the weights ratio, 30 hours moving average, as you see, is declining a little bit just because of these little, well, yeah, just because it's retracing, but that's absolutely not big. I'm just reading, I just did the comments, such kind. I'm longing, and people, it seems, I don't know, the followers thinks, oh Jesus, he is going too long now, but he is crazy. No, it's a short-term swing trade. Yeah, I'm not I'm not going to long pick. I'm there wish they make some new safe coin to long. Inspo, be careful about longs and so on and so forth. We will see. Yes, they are right. So we need to be careful with longs, but if you are trading a little swing, that's absolutely fine. Well, as you see, you don't see anything new. Just it will go up a little bit before it goes down even more, in my opinion. Let us take a look to the next chapter. Oh, that's it. And what we see here is actually nothing exciting. Nothing is happening. Even the volume isn't, I mean, it is big compared to other weeks, but it's not looking like so, wow, moon next. So if we take a look, let us go here directly. I will start to add the entities analysis to the flow activity. I think it makes more sense. So in general, we can say that flows are rising, but the volume maintains relatively low since 2 days. Okay, so we received here 16,800 Bitcoin, then afterward 3,800 Bitcoin. Yesterday was really busy, another 5,300. That was this morning, 5,000 Bitcoins. Then just here another 2,700 bitcoins, and right now coming in the last 2 hours almost 1,700 bitcoins. So nothing big, even if we don't know how much remaining bitcoins they still have on the exchanges. So we need to be very careful. Usually when they take some stablecoins out, we can detect almost if they sold some or not. That's just a trend. It's not an accurate indicator to make it clear here. So yeah, if we check, and now I would like to add the entities. If we take a look, for example, to our friends, we will see some very interesting correlations. If we take a look, check the date and the time. Okay, you will see that here, and it says June 28th, 5 p.m. 17. If we go back to the flow activity, we go here, okay, nothing. If we go here, nothing. If we go here, oh look, at the same time, June 28th, 17, a total of 5,300 Bitcoin. Coincidence? No. I will show you why not. If we go to, I know that's now early, but if we go, for example, here to the Bitcoin inflows to derivative exchanges, look here, June 28th, 5 p.m., 11,000 Bitcoins. So what happened here? Well, the market maker just sent a lot of Bitcoins to derivative to short the whole thing, and at the same time, they send Bitcoins to the spot just to push the price down. And that's what they are doing. Multi-channel using, I mean, we just can track their fund flows related to Bitcoins. If they are using some Tether or Cash or whatever, we can't see that. So if they are using Tether, for example, at least maybe we can see that. I'm not using that, I'm not tracking that, but maybe they are using stablecoins also to short, for example, at the same time with stablecoin futures. So if we take a look here, we see in the last hour, maybe I need to refresh the website here as well. And yeah, that was a good idea, to be honest. So if we take a look here, for example, we will see a similar pattern. You remember when the whole thing started last time? That's all preparation. They are pushing a little bit with more pressure, what pressure, but in my opinion, we are here some in such kind of support and resistance level. I was expecting to retest that area here. We are retesting that area here. We need to see if it's going to go below. If not, we will go up again to this area here to retest the resistance. And that's something we need to wait for it. However, I don't think it's going to happen right now. If they are going up, we will go down afterwards. Otherwise, these guys wouldn't start to make such kind of preparation. That's just a preparation. Like they did here, for example, that's how they started, and in my opinion, that's going to happen again. Of course, we need to see because I don't have any crystal ball here yet. Something I wish for next Christmas. So, yeah, um, it makes sense to combine both just to see who is the main driver here, you know. And if we check, for example, 27th, 11 o'clock, it wasn't the market maker. No, it wasn't the market maker. Well, 3,350 Bitcoin. Partly maybe, but Ernest, one of the analysts, also mentioned that the biggest part was coming actually from entities with more than 10,000 bitcoins. To make clear, I'm not tracking these entities because many of them are linked to exchanges. Doesn't mean that every entity related to wallets with 10,000 bitcoins are directly linked to exchanges. But I did my analysis last year, and that was where I decided just to analyze all entities below of 10,000 bitcoins because we will find few wallets there related to exchanges, while above of 10,000 bitcoins we will find many wallets related to Bitfinex, to Coinbase, to Binance, and so on and so forth. So for me, it doesn't make sense because I can't guarantee that what I'm seeing there it's not an internal operation by exchanges, for example. Well, let us take a look here to the stablecoins, and we see that they sold some, of course. 160 million, another 120 million, but it seems we still have some bitcoins waiting there. That would explain why we received here also almost 200 million in stablecoins. Usually when that happens, it has two ways why that happens. The way number one is they want to push up. The way number two, they know they are going to sell even more and they are preparing to absorb as much as they can. I guess that's the case in here. So they know we still have too many bitcoins on the exchanges waiting to sell and they are preparing to absorb. So if we go down, they will start to buy the way down just to break a little bit the impact to the price. Let us go to the next chapter, futures. So in my German analysis, they didn't appear, and I was wondering what actually the market maker is doing here. It was very interesting, and that's the problem with the aggregated funding rate, because I mean, if I see that and I see the funding rate just looking like wow, it's just going up like hell. I would think this guy is extremely bullish, but the price did exactly the opposite. Well, the question is if he is using Bitcoin collaterals to make the opposite. So to distribute, for example, at the same time to push the price up, to maintain the price up. And that's also possible, something we don't know exactly what's happening here. However, the funding rate lifted up, close before the price started to dump. Then the open interest declined because they wrecked a lot of late longs, and the funding rate started to decline while the open interest started to go up. The leverage ratio is again hitting a new all-time high, so nothing can go wrong here because when gamblers are in command, everything is fine. Something we really need to be very careful. I have said if we are going to go below 20k, it's going to be very volatile because, and we will check that, we have a gamma wall there at 20k. It's a huge one, so they will try to maintain the price above of 20k. We have seen that twice. Every time when it just declined that much, they have started and triggered a buy resistance, just buying to maintain the price above of 20k again. So something we also need to have in mind. We have received almost 220 million in stablecoins to derivative market. We don't know yet if these guys are demanding more shorts at the moment. And as I mentioned here, 7,000 bitcoins withdraw just before another 2,000 and so on and so forth. So it seems the market maker is taking out some bitcoins, in my opinion. If he did some gains with that, actually he has now much more ammo to dump. That's if he is doing that, I don't know. I don't know the market maker. I say market maker like it's one person. Of course, it's not. It's entity with 1,000 to 10,000. I just said that's the market maker because they have the best trade behavior. They have really uh, information advantage. They, from timing, just almost the best of all entities. But I guess these guys are extremely smart. Institutions, banks, whatever is behind hedge funds. If these guys are using Bitcoin collateral to make more Bitcoins afterwards, I can tell you they have much more Bitcoins right now available to dump, to nuke the market afterwards. But the key is we will not see that. Why? Because they let the gains just on the exchanges. So even the exchange reserve will not change. And that's really a very smart way to hide some operations if you want to nuke afterwards. So if market maker, if you're watching my video, I doubt you do, but in case you do, give me a call, mate, because I'm tracking you. So, um, and I would find better ways to hide the operations, by the way. So if you have some hundred millions of US dollars and you want to make such kind of operations, also then give me a call. However, the market, the funding rate declining, no one knows exactly why. We will take a look to the blockchain whispers and we will see that we have much more longs than shorts while the funding rate is declining. Nonsense? Right, that's a nonsense. So if we take a look, we will see that we have again a long short ratio of 62 to 38. So 1.3 billion versus 800 million or 780, indicating much more are longing. Hmm. And that wasn't the case just one day ago. We have received 220 million in stablecoins, so it's possible that they are now longing. We need to be very careful. As usual, just those two are interesting for me. Also longs here on shorts, on Ethereum. Bitfinex free. I don't care. And BitMEX, I'm sorry, you are low volume. I don't care either. So Binance, it's for me the biggest part, and it looks, taking into account the current price action, could be very bearish because they have more longs to liquidate. It could be also very bullish, indicating many are seeing at the same. We are, retesting the support at 20. Afterwards, we will go up to our resistance at 21.6 and maintain that level for a while before we have a bigger move. I don't know if that preparation is done. I think we will at least try to go below of 20k. If they fail, maybe then to go up again to prepare the whole operation again and to try later on. It's also possible. So let us take a look. That's now some hours ago when I have checked that, and we will see if it's still there. It's still a high leverage short indicating here, and it's the same position we will see on Binance. If we make here right now, just let us make that here. Okay. So, and now we close and open the Binance one. That's FTX, Binance. Let us see if it's still there. It will take a little bit as usual. Here we go. Oops. That's so incredible, isn't it? It's exactly the same position. Someone with big money is shorting Bitcoin with high leverage. Not since yesterday. So, yeah, that's something, it's on FTX at the same position like Binance. That's the market maker, in my opinion. So we are not done. Otherwise, those would disappear just because when he is done, I mean, I have the second theory like they will liquidate them, they will liquidate themselves just to push the price up afterwards, hitting our resistance to 21,700, 700. But I don't think so. I really think at the moment they are just taking profit afterwards. So that's it. Let us talk about options. So, at the moment we are, yeah, a little bit below of 20K, so now it's going to be very interesting what they are going to do if they want really to push even more down. Also here we can see what is pushing down at the moment are futures with Bitcoin collateral. FTX at the moment just selling a little bit, but nothing big, and aggregated spot also declining. Even futures a little bit, but the main driver is futures with Bitcoin collateral. yeah, market maker. So if we go forward, we can see here what's happening here. That's, for example, right now Gemini. Gemini looks extremely cool, so they are not really selling. Even then, it wouldn't be that big. And we see here right now Binance USDT, so Tether pair, and these guys are selling all the time. And big, it seems, because that's the CBD, so it seems they are selling even more than those 8,000 or 6,000 Bitcoin. We go forward, Coinbase, as usual, just buying, just buying. I am not sure if they are fooling us or whatever, but yeah, it looks like they are only buying. They I don't know, whatever. So they declined a little bit, but we are really talking about maybe a CBD of 100 bitcoins or nothing. Bitfinex buying something it's a little bit strange because we know they have some sell orders waiting at we need to see. I think it was something 26 or something, but also interesting here. They are buying while the price looks like wants to go down, like they did here, but they sold then afterwards. So interesting what Bitfinex is doing. And finally, we can see here that's Binance Perp. So we are talking about actually about Binance futures. And if we take a look here, thanks, we can see that the funding rate is declining right now a little bit, so it was going up and now it's declining. The open interest exactly doing also the same. And stable coins, as mentioned, stablecoin futures, sorry, stablecoin futures, stablecoin with Bitcoin collateral. And we see here, well, it's exactly the futures one, as we see here, for example. And they are really trying to push the price below of 20K. So we need to see if that's going to happen. Well, that's it. Let us take a look. Oh, well, let us make entities just for a moment and to see, just to give you a little overview. Um, the interesting because it seems that the market maker bought a little bit again. I don't know. He is buying, then selling afterwards again just to push the price down again. If we take a look here, it seems these guys have started slightly to accumulate, nothing big. These guys, oh, are selling right now or reducing their balances while they were accumulating, in my opinion. We need to see that these guys don't start to nuke now because it's the second biggest entity with 4,260,000 bitcoins. And retailers, wow, okay, retailers, at least this one have started a little bit to sell. Doesn't look big, but we need to see. Um, yeah, and that's it. Now we can change and go to the exchange walls. So if we take a look right now, that's Coinbase. We see much more activity in lower ranges than in upper ranges. Just a little bit here, 25K, but nothing big indicating. So as mentioned, they are doing it again just to try to protect the 20K. It's going to be very hard to go down, to be honest, but not depends on how much bitcoins they are going to nuke. They can do that because it was looking very promising here. As you see, we had the wall and they cross it. Okay. The most interesting part is they cross, so they trigger the buy order and they maintain the price, so they didn't really bounce back up afterwards. Let us take a look to Deribit. Deribit also very interesting what they are doing. They are here limiting at 20,800, but also here at 21.2. So also not really indicating people are expecting to let the price go up again. Bitstamp. Whoa. So Bitstamp limiting here at 21.6, and as you see also everything in lower areas, 15, a little bit at 16. So to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if we are going to see in the next days or even in the weekend price below of 18. Binance Spot we have here at 22, for example, and a little wall at 19.5, the next one at 19. Really strange that they are not protecting here the 20 at the moment. That's much more, if you see, very dynamic. It doesn't look like a wall or 405. Oh yeah, it seems. Okay, they are protecting 19.8 here. Okay, that makes sense. Bitfinex spot protecting at 19.1 and still, and that's what surprised me that they are buying. If you take a look to the CVD, even it reduced it here a little bit, but they have a lot of sell orders here. Maybe just spoofing, I don't know. So if the X perp also indicating here 21 would be the local top. So that's, what I thought a little bit, just go up to 21 and then go down again. But at the moment they are playing much more with the bearish sentiment, I guess. Also here at 19.7 and even here 19.8, so exactly the same order like Binance Spot, something that correlates very well to the big short position in my opinion, because it was exactly the same. At the same time, a lot of orders here very close to push the price down, and here some buy resistance just to maintain the price above. As soon as you see here, a lot of activity. A lot of activity. So all these here, they need to absorb all that. It's going to be a big challenge in my opinion, but possible. Absolutely possible. Kraken, also interesting. Kraken also limiting at 21k, even at 22k, but also at 19.5 and 19. And the next big one will be at 18. BitMEX, we have at BitMEX 17.2, a little bit at 8.19, but the next one would be 21.1, 21.2. Something like there, and maybe I'm not sure at 26. I wouldn't take this into account to be honest. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. We just see here a big block. At least while the Bitfinex spot was very bullish, indicating they're buying. Bitfinex futures are showing more shorts. Also very interesting. Hedging maybe. And at the same time you see here, you know, to the downside more volume than to the upside, but no big wall indicating here. Kraken, again, nothing. And FTX spot, FTX spot also here on 19.7. So they are really protecting that area. As mentioned, not that big. Absolutely not that big. So we can cross that. We know the market maker can use futures. We don't know if he is taking profit from his Bitcoin futures, for example. We don't know how much gain he did with that, if he is done or he wants a little bit more, and how much dump ammo he has, because we can track BTCs, even his fund flows, but we can't track what he is doing on the centralized exchange, for example. So if he is going to use high volume 20,000 Bitcoin or something, forget all these walls. So, and my favorite one is Binance Futures, because Binance Futures is at least the best, in my opinion, when it comes to see some price manipulation. And you see here a lot of orders still pending and waiting. And if we go and zoom in. Oh, here, take a look. Wow. If they want to go up, that's also going to be crazy. Much more than to the downside. The next one would be 18.8. And we have here as well, as you see. Yeah. At the moment, I'm not sure if bulls are using the situation just to accumulate, because you see very well here, just because of the candle wicks, that they are fighting. They are really fighting. So as soon they push up, someone is pushing down. As soon as they push down, someone is pushing up. Very interesting. So, and that's it. That's absolutely it. It still looks too bearish, in my opinion. Just too bearish. Let us go to the next chapter. That's my personal conclusion. And we are done for today.